I don't have anything else to do. I don't know anything else, so this has to work for me, and I've invested my whole life in this, so I'm here to the end.
In a medium-sized studio in Midtown Tucson, Sam Patania makes fine jewelry of his own design. It is meticulous work.
I started working the day after I graduated from high school. What I really fell in love with was doing a good job, being a good craftsman.
They asked me to come to Dallas to help and choose what design.
Sam grew up admiring his father, Frank Pataina Jr., who also designed and crafted jewelry.
My dad is an extremely hardworking man. So there I am, like 18 years old, and watching my dad's ability to really work hard for hours on end.
A lot of people commented on my work about how beautifully it was finished. That was all a result of spending hours of shaping and filing and emerying and polishing.
Frank Jr.'s modernist designs were recognized nationally. Like his son Sam, he had a lifelong dedication to the craft.
I developed all the skills first, and then I started designing, and I was able to execute what came out of my brain. Yeah, I grew up in Santa Fe with all kinds of interesting people coming into our shop.
That was the Thunderbird Shop, opened in Santa Fe, New Mexico in 1927 by Frank Pataina Sr.
When I was very small, I spent a lot of time in the shop watching my dad basically work. So I just grew up learning the business from the ground up. He had me sweeping the floor.
Frank Sr. started apprenticing as a goldsmith at age 6 in Sicily and continued when his family immigrated to the United States. In 1924, he developed tuberculosis and was sent to Santa Fe not knowing if he would survive. He did, and in 1930, he married Aurora Misocco, also an Italian immigrant. She ended up in Santa Fe an orphan after her mother died on a train ride to California.
Both parents experienced horrible things in their past and didn't talk about it. He was so excited and happy to be an American citizen. He said, "This is a wonderful country. I don't mind paying my taxes. You can do whatever you want in this country." When he came out west, he saw what the Indian jewelry was like, especially the Navajo. He liked the use of bold silver with larger stones. That inspired a whole new direction for him. He sort of created a new style.
The shop was successful and the Patania brand grew. In 1937, Frank Sr. looked to expand.
They were going to explore possibilities in California. They stopped in Tucson and they decided this is the place.
They opened up a second Thunderbird Shop on Congress right next to the Fox Theater.
The Patanias have always been a presence in Tucson. I love their designs. I think they're really unusual and, again, excellent, top quality craftsmanship. Just really beautiful, nice to wear, comfortable. I curated an exhibition for the Tucson Museum of Art that focused on all three generations, Frank Sr., Frank Jr., and Sam, and highlighted the specific differences between their work because each generation has come up with their own expression in silver.
The multi-generational show garnered the attention of one of the most prestigious museums in the United States.
The Renwick Gallery at the Smithsonian Museum ended up buying a piece from each of the three generations, Frank Sr., Frank Jr., and Sam, and they're in their permanent collection now.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. Well, where do you go from the Smithsonian? I don't know. I thought that assured me of a career, of an income, and that just was not the case. Artists have to evolve to be interesting.
It is a business that depends on what's going on in the world. If things are hard, luxury items are one of the first things that sort of fall by the wayside.
The family business has seen many ebbs and flows in its 89-year history, but still it continues.
I think that's pretty unusual anymore, that a family from generation to generation will continue in the same vein.
And I was in the shop ever since I could be. Had to have been like 6 or 7.
I think it's wonderful. I love this. I want to share it with him.
Recently, Sam's son Marco Patania has started working at the shop.
We used to have very different schools of thought or mental processes, but now we get along really, really well.
You know, when he first started, I called my dad and apologized because now I knew what it was like to have, you know, your son working for you. It's not easy.
I don't even know what. I'm really grateful for the relationship that I have with my father. I don't know a lot of people that have a strong connection like that.
You know, I got to know him at a level that you know, there's just a rare opportunity in my life to get to know my dad and my grandfather like that, to actually do the work that they did.
I think my dad would really, above all, be pleased to see that it's continuing.
But I wouldn't trade it for anything. There's just nothing I love this. Sometimes I stand up and say, I'm never gonna make jewelry ever again because I'm burned out. And the next day I come back and I'm just in love with it again.